Good morning, doctor. Welcome back.
Good morning, Venkatesh. Nice to be back.
So our topic for today is don't think problems, think solutions. And how when we decide to think about our situations in terms of solutions, we immediately find constructive answers and are able to do things to keep ourselves and our lives in order. Yes, doctor?
Yes, right.
Over to you.
Okay. Thank you again, Venkatesh. Now, the title of today's interactive may sound a little odd, solution first thinking and problem first thinking. I thought thinking is only one, whether it is solution first or problem first. And not too many people are conversant with this kind of terminology.
Right.
And I won't blame, because if somebody flashes that word solution first,
Right.
say, I'm always keeping my solution first. We can always counter argue. But
Right.
it is important to know the context.
Right.
You have something to say, Venkatesh?
No. Yes, please continue.
Yeah. So the context of this interaction has to be kept in mind before you answer a comment or put in a new comment.
Right.
Now, if you see in this picture, solution first thinking vis-a-vis problem first thinking has visuals of different sizes and shapes.
Right.
If you are thinking solution first, then you are fine. Your instruments are working fine. Your thinking is fine. Because you are thinking solution first. You are focused on the solution.
Right.
And the problems are pushed down to the bottom. And that's the way it should be. So, solution first and thinking side by side. Now, in contrast, problem first thinking is indicative of a muddled frame of mind.
Right.
We'll say, what do you mean by problem first thinking? Many times, willy-nilly, whether or not we are aware of it, when we start looking at something, the problems come first. It's a default mode of problem first is a bothersome.
Natural. Yeah.
We see in this tumbler or a glass, and there are stars floating around. And in problem first thinking, you've got a bottleneck.
Right.
Basically, in problem first thinking, it is bottleneck.
Correct.
You are so muddled that your problems keep coming up all the time up front.
Correct.
And you don't get out of it.
Correct.
This we will see, because if you keep your problem first thinking intact, then you are in for trouble. Venkatesh, any comment?
Yeah, no, I think that said it perfectly, Doc, that when you think problems, there are many problems. Whereas when you think solution, you're forced to think one thing at a time and do it. So it keeps it simple.
Right. Now, in this diagrammatic representation, a guy is saying something. He says, I don't fix problems, I fix my thinking. This is the googly again. Not too many people can think and fix problem and fix thinking and so forth. It's a little difficult for the average guy on the street to understand or to appreciate. So I don't fix problems. Okay, I don't see any problem. It's like somebody saying, I don't see any problem. I don't see any problem. I don't fix any problem. So there's no problem. It's a little simplistic way of putting things, but it is leading to a blockade, a bottleneck at the bottom of the heap. So problems fix themselves. Now, this is another googly again. If you don't fix problems, and I fix my thinking.
If you fix your thinking, problems solve themselves. Correct.
Right. So ultimately, as we will see as we go along, your thinking is a problem. Thinking is a problem. You'll say, if I don't think, what do I do? You have to learn how to think, and then you have to learn how to think clearly, and so forth, and so forth. So here, this guy is getting all contorted, yeah. And but it's a nice little diagram, but I'm not able to decipher the diagram. But then you
There's
can
a
see the
welder. There's a welder sitting in the back of the brain, and he's fixing his thinking instead of fixing the world outside, which is, I guess, what we are saying. That if you train yourself to a positive mind, in simple terms, you think positively about a solution, you're better off.
Right. Very true. Now, here is an aphorism.
Right.
Think about your problem just enough to get a solution. Now, this is a googly, and all of us fall a prey to this googly. We think about a problem, and then we keep on thinking and thinking, and you are thinking your problem gets out of hand. But
Correct.
then here, someone says, "Hmm, don't let it become you. The problem just enough to get a solution,
Solution.
just in time, as they say, just right, optimum." This
Correct.
is where our motto also comes in. Yeah,
Correct.
to have a balanced way of looking at the individual components of the problem and the solution,
Correct.
and if it is in balance, then you find a way ahead.
Correct.
Otherwise, you don't find a way ahead. You find only a muddled, nonsense conglomeration of verbiage. A
Right.
guy who is stuck in that
Correct.
will be busy giving excuses and busy talking and suggesting something without meaning anything. There is no uniformized, think, and you just have to think enough. For example, when ladies go to a sari shop, hmm,
Right.
it's normally said there is no male chauvinism involved here
Right.
because I have also been part of that.
Correct. It's
When
true of
ladies go to
anyone. Yeah. Whether ladies in a sari shop or men in a shirt shop. But the
a shop,
point is still the same. Correct.
yeah, but somehow the feminine attributes remain. And sari shops, if you see, you can see many saris lying opened up, and then
Many
the guy
choices.
picks them up. Whereas in a shirt shop, the shirt guy just takes out whatever is needed and then puts it back, and there is no congestion there.
Correct.
So we traditionally give the example of sari shop. And this is muddled thinking. You say, I'll take this, I'll take that, and I like this color, I don't like that texture, and so forth. So pretty soon, the entire floor is covered with saris.
Correct.
Hmm? And this you seldom ever see. Of course, nowadays in digital era, buying a shirt or buying a sari is more or less the
Digital.
same.
Right.
It's a quick and immediate. In microseconds, you have chosen and you're gone.
Correct.
So this example is a little bit oldish, but it
Yeah,
used to
but
be
the
the case.
point is correct. Yeah, the point is correct. And I think the point which you're getting to is that the good salesman knows how to reduce the choices. Otherwise, decision
Right.
won't happen. Yeah, I think that's what you are trying to say.
Correct. Correct. Very true. So here the catalyst or the salesman plays a great role because
Correct.
he'll be at times he'll put his foot down and say, "Madam, this sari won't suit you," or "Sir, this shirt will not suit you," and so
Right.
forth. Put a final end to the whole thing.
Correct.
But it's a catalyst.
No,
Hmm?
in fact, the one of the things that very good salesmen do in such situations is they keep on removing saris you don't like. So,
Right.
so that they reduce the clutter. In fact, a good salesman is supposed to never keep more than 2 or 3 saris in front of the customer. So they'll keep saying,
Right.
"आपको अच्छा नहीं लगता है, तो ये निकाल देते हैं." So he'll put it aside, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I think that's the very next slide we are going to come to. That
Yeah.
this one,
Yeah. Yeah. Now there is something called paradox of choice.
right?
Paradox is what? Something that appears one thing and then actually is something else. That is
Correct,
paradox.
correct,
Now, if we have choice of items, choice of saris and shirts and whatever,
correct.
normally we would say, I like
Wow.
4 shirts, whatever.
Correct,
And then you put about another 20 odd saris or shirts in front of the guy, there is confusion.
correct,
And that is a paradox of choice. We normally say the more the merrier, but
correct,
in this case, there is less the merrier. That's why it's called less is more. This
correct,
is a typical Western way of looking at less is more. There is called something minimalistic way of looking at things, minimalistic way of life. If
correct.
you go to a minimalist home,
Right.
you find hardly 2 or 3 chairs and hardly 1 or 2 or 3 odd items, and then the rest of the room will be empty.
Bad.
And
Correct.
less is more because this eliminates a muddled thinking that
Clutter.
prevails in this environment.
Correct,
So that is a paradox of choice. If
correct,
you have too many choices, you are in trouble. And if you have too little anyway, of course, that will auto reduce itself and so forth.
correct,
But basically, less is more. That's a word we have to apply through and through, whether in life or in fiction or whatever. Less is more is the dictum.
Correct.
And
If you
if you
remember,
know,
in the very early sessions, we had done a session on minimalism. In fact, I think it was
right,
one of our second or third in our series. And
okay,
it was exactly this point that it is very important in many aspects of life that we reduce the clutter. And in today's topic, I guess, like the sari example, it's easier to choose between two saris than to choose between 10.
right, very true, very true.
Yeah.
So
Should
less
I
is more.
move to the next one?
Yeah. So analysis, paralysis. Now, if
Right.
you analyze too much, you get paralyzed.
Correct.
Don't analyze, don't paralyze. You can play with words, and then basically, when thinking too much holds you back. Now, as we saw just now in the sari case,
Correct.
hmm, there are for 35 to 30, 40 saris lying on the floor in front of you, and don't even know which way to turn or which one to pick.
Correct.
And when thinking too much holds you back, now then you say, okay, forget it. You say forget it. And many times these people come out of the shop without doing anything. And
Correct.
that's a colossal waste, which is not what they wanted. But
Correct.
then their own thinking, this is the obstacle is their own thinking.
Correct.
Their own thinking. Thinking too much holds you back. So you say,
Correct.
no, I'll come tomorrow.
Correct.
I'll come next week when your choice is better. But that next will never happen. So
Correct.
your own thinking is your enemy,
Correct.
you know.
Correct.
And there are examples of internal enemies, which we will see some other time. So
No,
when
I think
thinking too
one
much,
important point to connect all of this to the topic today is solution, right? One simple
right,
way to overcome this, or you simplify your thinking the moment you say, I need some solution today. I have to buy at least one sari today. The moment you think
right,
like that, then your whole thinking gets narrowed to the first slide. You have to do
right,
something. So action. I think that's what you have always been saying.
absolutely,
Solution is
absolutely.
focus on action, right?
Absolutely. Right. So analysis paralysis. Hmm?
Yeah.
Twiddly-dum, twiddly-do, whatever this, analyze and get paralyzed. If you overanalyze, you get over-paralyzed. You don't analyze at all, you don't get paralyzed. You keep playing with
No, and
words.
so
But
therefore, I think since we have now had three slides on analysis paralysis, I think what we are
yeah,
trying to say is focus on action, right? And that
right,
is solution. That is simple. The moment you go out of that, you're out of this loop because you say, I enough analysis. I now have to act,
right,
right?
right, right, correct. Now, as Venkatesh mentioned just now, focus on the solution, not on the problem.
Yeah.
And this is your Jim Robin. I now think I've used it in the HR seminars, but it's a known name.
Right.
Focus on the solution, not on the problem.
Correct.
That is because if you're focusing on the solution, it is infusing clarity.
Correct.
And, and if you don't do that, your focus on the problem continues and it gets more and more confusing.
Correct.
So focus on the solution and not on the problem. You
Correct.
are a solutions person, not the problem person. Like in Bhagavad Gita,
Correct.
Bhagavan Sri Krishna could have played a role. He could have taken a very contradictory view and then he could have scolded Arjuna and all that.
No,
But
no,
instead he said,
you mean Duryodhana. Correct.
yeah, no, he was advising Arjuna, no, to return to the
No, no, you
battlefield.
said Bhagavad Gita. So I said in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna was advising Duryodhana and Arjuna.
Duryodhana, I don't know whether he was so much in the picture, but Arjun was the one who, in all the
Correct, correct, correct,
photograph
correct, correct, correct,
that you
correct.
see, Arjun is on his knees
Oh, I think
and
you. Oh, sorry, I misheard. I heard something else. Yes, Arjuna. Correct.
it's
Absolutely. He was
okay.
advising
It's
Arjuna.
okay.
Yeah.
Basically, the standard picture of Bhagavad Gita is Krishna standing there and giving
Advising
Upadesha.
Arjuna. Correct. Absolutely.
And Arjuna is on his knees, trying to learn a lesson from this fellow.
Krishna. Krishna.
Bhagavan Sri Krishna. No, it's Bhagavan. Everything is Bhagavan because it's an incarnation of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. That
Correct.
is the root of Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita.
Correct.
So here, don't lose focus. Now,
Correct.
if you have too many things to focus on, you will lose all of them.
Correct.
Hmm? You'll just get fed up and say, forget it, I don't want it. I don't want the sari today. Or you'll give some excuse not to buy that sari. You know, you'll say, this shop is no good, this kind of a thing. Then you get confused You end up with all very contradictory, useless examples or whatever. And then what you actually need is hmm, more focus.
Not
Now,
more
people
time.
want more
Correct.
time. But that lady will say, I saw 20 saris, but not all of them was good. So I'll come tomorrow. I'll borrow time.
Correct.
When you are confused, you borrow time.
Correct.
Whereas what you need is actually focus.
Correct.
Yeah. You
Correct.
have focus, your job is done in a jiffy.
Correct.
Yeah, that's why even Bhagavad Gita was reduced to 18 chapters. He could have
Correct.
gone on for 25 chapters. Somebody
Correct.
had to put an end.
Correct.
That is where the divine role of Lord Shri Krishna enters. So you don't need more time. You can't take a sabbatical and then come back and all that stuff.
Correct.
You
Correct.
need more focus.
Focus. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good point. Yes. Very good point. Yeah.
Now, there are some examples here, great intervention or inventions that change the history. Now, all of these examples that are given here
Right.
have something to say with regard to solution-oriented thinking.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now, we normally we talk about the example of Thomas Alva Edison. Yeah.
Right.
And there, you'll say 19 to whatever, 999 bulbs were blown. And
Right.
then
Before he
what?
could get that, yeah,
Before
working
he
one.
could get, yeah. So that is a great intervention or invention that changed the history because that 999th bulb
Right.
taught a whole lesson in various contexts and so forth. But
Correct.
so like there are great inventions and history is written on them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Next, please.
Yeah.
Now here is another classic example of invention
Correct.
and which got the light of the day, literally
Correct.
like the light of the day, when the matchstick was struck and then the
Correct.
match started glowing.
Correct.
The match, you can see in this, what is there in this? Today we take it for granted. We take matchsticks for granted, and we
Correct.
take match boxes for granted, and
Correct.
so forth.
Correct.
But at the beginning,
What an
you're
invention.
going,
Yeah.
yeah.
Life changing.
So right, right. So it's a paradigm shift of the supreme order.
Correct.
Yeah. People thought one could never carry fire in their pocket. People said, how your pant pocket will catch fire. And that I don't know who invented the Lucifer matches.
Yeah,
The
I've
simple
forgotten the
name.
name, but yeah, the sulfur match and the phosphorus match, like you said,
Yeah.
it brought the power of fire into your pocket. Fantastic.
Into
Correct.
your
Exactly.
pocket. Yeah, yeah. So that is a great power. And next slide, please. Here is another example of a massive, massive example of how to bring forth some action in the
Right.
confusion. Here,
Correct.
what you see is Panama Canal.
Correct.
Hmm? You're sailing through the canal, and then there's a passage created for the ships to move.
Wow.
Otherwise, the ships will not be able to traverse the entire thing. But
Yeah, they would have to
where,
go all around South America to go from
yeah,
Pacific to Atlantic. And
right.
then under Roosevelt, they basically said, no, we will cut through. Yeah.
Right, right. And the cutting through was a very complex phenomenon, but even today, it is a wonder of the world. But somehow people don't look at Panama Canal as a wonder of the world.
You take it for
There's no
granted
simple,
today. Correct.
yeah. So imagine megatons of water
Correct.
being pumped out,
Correct.
and that is paving the way for creating the way for a ship to pass. That is really something, and that is a paradigm shift. There is a solution-driven example here.
Correct.
People didn't know what was happening. People were standing there and twiddling their thumbs. But
Correct.
somebody came and said, I will create a canal for you, and that canal will join the two continents like this, and so forth. So it was a solution-oriented exercise, and that's what we are looking at. We want solutions. We don't want a lot of
Only
cluttered
focus on
thinking.
problems. Yeah.
This is
Absolutely.
what you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the last slide.
Yes, last slide. Okay, now we are coming back to our age-old, you know, uh, stamp, the Karma Yoga is our stamp, and Karma Yoga and Bhagavad Gita and Sri Krishna and Arjuna are the
role models, and we can come back to them always reliably.
yeah. Because in a way, the entire universe is
Could you
condensed
come in
into
front?
this.
Come in front, doctor. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Little
It's
further
okay?
behind. Sorry, sir. No, yeah, I think
Yeah,
too much in front. Yeah, good. That's good. Yes.
yeah, okay. So now whether you are in Panama Canal or you are in Timbuktu, there is this what is an action.
Correct.
Karma Yoga is an action.
Correct.
And it tells Arjuna, it could be telling anybody anything,
Correct.
but it's all action oriented.
Correct.
And the action oriented is what we are looking at. Now, we don't
Correct.
want people to give upadesh and sermonize on theory and stuff like that, but
Correct.
we want end result.
Correct.
We are not exact, whether you call it corporate logic or whatever,
Or even in
ultimately we want,
personal. Correct.
yeah. And that will be brought about by Karma Yoga, which is been brought about by the dramatist person E. And then you move on, you move on with your work, and then you have to perform your duty, and that you do
Correct.
with the help of Karma Yoga. And that is involved. Basically, it's a mindset. Now, Karma Yoga doesn't involve just standing upside down on one leg or something.
Correct.
That is not Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga they can't even see.
Correct.
Yeah, but Karma Yoga is happening. Whereas elsewhere in Yoga Abhyas, Yoga Asana, you can see the guy standing this
The
way and
focus
that
is on
way.
the physical. Yeah. Here, the focus is on the mental attitude towards action. Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. So the Karma Yoga is there, and Karma Yoga is ultimately what we are interested in.
Correct.
Time and again, we'll come across this. You don't
And
know
we
what
do.
you are good. Yeah. So you carry on with your job. Get
Yep.
on with it. We say
Correct.
get on with it.
Correct.
That is Karma
Correct.
Yoga. And that is possible with the tools that we have displayed just now.
Correct.
And that will definitely give a solution
Correct.
by virtue of you are getting the right frame of mind, the right type of
Correct.
thinking,
Correct.
the right type of. It's not thinking has its own quality.
Of
You can't
course.
just
Yeah.
be thinking and thinking and thinking, and let cows come home and go back or whatever.
Correct.
So you can't do that. And Karma Yoga is the one that channelizes everything. And it tells
Correct.
you, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that.
Correct.
And get on. Come on,
Correct.
come on. No, like that kind of a
Get
thing.
down
Come
to
on, come
action.
on.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. Come on is that Karma Yoga action command. Any comment, Venkatesh?
Yeah. No, I think perfect. This is the last slide. So should I summarize then?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So as doctor mentioned today, what we discussed was that all problems, we can magnify them by overthinking them. And if we think solution rather than focus on the problem, one of the things it does is it makes us immediately focused on action. The theme across all our sessions has been that the best answer is to get to action as quickly as possible. To break out of analysis paralysis, you have to reduce your choices. And if you
Right.
have too much choice, you can get, that's what leads to paralysis. So the slides, for example, that mentioned that think about your problem only enough that you can get to some action and start moving. Sounds like very
Right.
simple advice, but it is actually the central advice. And we came
Right.
finally down to that, if you say that action, karma is our real goal, is our real duty, it keeps you focused on solution oriented thinking and how that creates finally big solutions, whether you call it the matchstick or you call it the Panama Canal, all of them come from solution thinking. Yes, doctor?
Right. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so
So
much,
this,
doctor. We'll
yeah,
look forward to the next one. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Next time.
Thank you. Take care.